Hi there, Steve here. Today I'm going to talk about language learning as a form of exploration and discovery, because that's what it is for me, and that's what motivates me to learn languages. And I'm going to do this on today, which is Christmas Day. It doesn't matter what religion you are. I think it's most widely known as Christmas Day because, according to the Christian religion, this was the day when Jesus Christ was born. Now, we don't know when Jesus Christ was born. It is also true that the 25th of December or thereabouts has been a very common sort of day of feasting or festival or ceremony in all kinds of cultures and traditions, from the ancient Iranians to Syriac religion, which believed in some kind of a sun god, to the Romans, who celebrated Saturnalia, which was some kind of a celebration of the end of the sowing season, you know, in agriculture, and great feasting took place. And not to mention the Northern Europeans, who, and that's where we get the Christmas tree from, and they lit bonfires to encourage the sun to come back because it was the shortest day of the year, or around the shortest day of the year, sort of a winter solstice festival. Even in Japan, this Amaterasu coming out of the cave. I mean, and the Mayans, there's all kinds of examples of why this is a time of the year when people celebrate and encourage the sun to come back and this kind of thing. Now, I was recently with my wife in Jerusalem, and this was part of a trip that included Greece and Jordan. And for me, exploring these languages, Greek, Hebrew, which I just dabbled in, enough to be able to make out some of the letters when I see them written somewhere. I'll get back to it. And of course, Arabic, which I'm now committing myself to learning. It's part of a desire to discover more about that part of the world. It's interesting to think that, you know, the Bible, of course there's a Hebrew Bible, but much of certainly the New Testament was written in Greek. You know, the Constantine, the Emperor Constantine, made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, which contributed to its dramatic growth. It's now the largest religion in the world. As a result of Constantine's decision, and he apparently spoke Latin and didn't speak Greek that well, although his mother was Greek. But in Constantinople, in that part of the Roman Empire, a lot of people did speak Greek. Maybe Greek certainly was more common than Latin, although educated Romans spoke Greek because it was considered the language of sort of culture and so forth. And the local people spoke various Semitic languages, Aramaic or Phoenician, I don't know. And that those ancient languages, which really, again, I don't know all of this. They don't quite know the language of ancient Sumer, just what kind of a language it was. Like, it seems to be an isolated language, although some rabid nationalists try to claim it as the ancestor of their own language, different language groups. But soon thereafter, this Semitic language, Sumerian, or excuse me, Akkadian took over. And this is also the ancestor of Hebrew and Aramaic and Arabic and so forth and so on. So the study of Arabic today for me, and Greek, and if I ever get into Hebrew, but there's a much, much smaller number of speakers, is a form of discovering a little bit about that part of the world, the history that preceded Islam, and then since Islam, and a lot of the culture that developed after. And I'm curious to understand, you know, what are the different influences that led to the wonderful examples of Arabic culture that are on display, for example, that I have visited in Spain, in southern Spain. So these are all kinds of things that I want to explore, and I want to explore going further east, Iranian, and eventually the languages of India, and so forth and so on. But, so languages are a form of exploration, of discovery, learning about different people. But the other thing, of course, about Christmas Day is that it is, for many Christians, a religious day. And the message is one of peace, peace, humility, helping those less fortunate than you, turning the other cheek, forgiveness, tolerance, a lot of qualities that seem to be absent today in politics, absent today in the way different religious groups interact. It's almost as if religion has become more a matter of identity. My group is better than your group, and this leads to violence and intolerance, and we do see this in the Middle East. And so I guess the message today, other than to encourage people to learn languages as a means of discovering more about human history, human beings, people who share the planet with us while we are on this planet. Other than that, positive, I want to inject some positive motivation if possible. I mean, people are all motivated differently in favor of language learning, but also to suggest that hopefully we can get back to the fundamental message of most religions. And most religions, you know, while they have the sense of identity there and symbolism and ceremonies, at the core of most religions are a set of fairly universal values. And it seems that maybe it's always been there, but there seems to be an element of nastiness and intolerance that has come to dominate relationships between different national groups, religions, and so forth and so on. So hopefully today is a day that we think what might be possible if people actually followed the moral teachings of their religions. And I should add, those people who don't believe in religions, such as me, okay, I have no opinion on the existence or non-existence of a God. I simply don't know. But I guide myself in terms of moral values and how to behave based on what I think, how I think I would like to be treated by others. And I think that basic concept exists in all religions. And so if we can be perhaps guided more by the old golden rule, things might improve. But I don't hold out any hope. And so I continue learning my languages. Bye for now.